Hi, I'm Suneera and I'm a mom of two, a daughter of an immigrant, and an unlikely entrepreneur who went from scaling an idea to $1 billion business. Yes, $1 billion business. Along the way, I learned that less than 2% of female founders ever hit 1 million in revenue, and I became obsessed on a mission to change that. I believe that there is so much gatekeeping in business knowledge, and that we as female entrepreneurs should be learning from other female founders and leaders who have broken the statistics. Since I never went to CEO school, I've had to learn it all the hard way, but you shouldn't have to, because we believe that you deserve to have it all. And honestly, nothing bad happens when women make more money. Grab a seat because class is officially in session. Welcome to CEO School. Hello and welcome back to another episode of CEO School. I'm your host, Suneera, and we are going to be diving into the best tips and strategies for women in business and empowering women entrepreneurs, specifically during challenging economic times. So let's face it, right now, things have been feeling pretty hard across the board, especially for me as a business owner, and just hearing from so many of you, so many women in business, the challenges they're facing right now during, I don't want to call it the recession or the economic times that we're in, but it feels like things are getting tough. And so today I wanted to dedicate this episode, a quick 15-minute episode on 5 essential tips that we can do to get through successfully during when times are a little bit rough, right? So grab your notepads, get ready to learn, and we're going to dig right in. So, I would say the first time that I experienced any sort of challenging times outside of just scaling your business is hard. Let's just get that out of the way, right? You're started a business, that's hard AF already. Then you get through it and then you're getting it started. You're constantly getting no's. It's always work. But then when you add in the outside world, right? So there's our controllables, and then there's things that we just don't control. And the economy is one that we just don't control. Buying patterns of how customers are adapting to it. Expenses are on the rise for everything. So everything is costing more and people want to pay less, right? And so how do you as a business owner navigate during this time? And so through all the conversations that we've had inside of the CEO's Schools membership, I wanted to bring them out to you here. And if you are not part of the CEO Schools membership, you have to join. Link is in bio. There's no reason why you are not part of these conversations with us. And we're solving through these blockers specifically for your business. So definitely check that out and come join us. But here are the 5 tips that I was able to write down and say, okay, what are 5 things that we can do to really get through this? And these are the things that I focused on in my business during COVID as well. So when I was CEO of my company and scaling my business during the time of COVID was when there was so much uncertainty, so many uncontrollables, and the world literally shut down. Yet we managed to have the greatest year of our business year. We literally grew at triple-digit growth rate. So we're talking, doubling revenue and scaling and hiring people during a time when the world was literally falling apart. So how did we do that? And now during these challenging times, how can we leverage what we know, right? What took place in COVID? We've gone through this before, but how can we leverage it and how can we get ahead? Right? So that's why you come to CEO School. That's why we're here today. And so number 1, the first tip that I have and the first thing I really need you to think about is truly diversifying your revenue stream. So if you are relying solely on just one form of revenue source, that can be so risky. So to safeguard your business, it is crucial to diversify your revenue stream. So consider exploring either a new product to add to your product offerings, new service offerings that really do align with your core expertise or your core product. So think about how can you do that? And if you don't have any sort of net new product ideas right now, or it's not going to be able to get launched, you could also think about repackaging or reconfiguring your current offerings and leveraging things that, you're like, okay, I can add value in other ways to really create a diversified set of products and services to sell. And by diversifying, you're going to, spread that risk and tap into new market opportunities. And for every successful entrepreneur and for every successful business, so I'm going to separate those two things. each one requires a diversification of where their revenue comes from. So it's not usually just one form of revenue for a business. At CEO School, we have multiple forms of business, right? We have our membership, we have our retreats, we have our accelerator. So I've got multiple forms of revenue opportunity for the company. And then, also as a human, so I want to separate those two things. You've got your business and then you've got yourself as well. And you can also have multiple sources of income as an entrepreneur. So if one business is tapping out at, a six-figure mark, that doesn't mean that you can't have another business or a side hustle or another opportunity that's also driving revenue for you. And so I want you to look at it in two different things. One, I want you to look at it in diversifying your product stream in your business. And then I also want you to look about, is there a way for you to diversify your current revenue stream? And so that is important in thinking about from a recession standpoint. You don't want to solely rely on one thing. I think the easiest is looking at your current product offerings and seeing what you can do to expand them. And so that's tip number one. Tip number two, when everyone is focused on net new customers, this is something you've heard me say so often. The reason why we were successful is because we weren't focused on net new. We were always focused on our current customers. It is so important for your customers are your most valuable assets. And especially you don't want them to be like, oh, now during a recession, now you think I'm important, right? You always need to focus on the customer experience. It's the most valuable relationship that you have for your business. And we tend to forget that. We're always focused on net new, not focused on retaining our current customers or what can we do to add value to our current customers. So providing exceptional service to your customers should not be something you should be thinking of now, but just a reminder, it's not about net new. Focus on your current customers and show genuine care for them. Understand what their needs truly are. And when you actually understand their true needs, maybe that's when your next product offer comes from. Maybe that's when you can expand into loyalty programs or exclusive deals for repeat business, asking them for the referrals of new customers. Satisfied customers can also become your biggest brand ambassadors, helping you actually attract net new clients. So tip number two is this is always part of CEO School. Strengthen your customer relationships and focus on your current customers. Number three is to embrace all forms of digital marketing. So it is 2023 right now, and there are so many forms to get in front of your customer. And it is important that you do stay ahead in diversifying your marketing sources. I have found so often when customers are focused on one source that's where they primarily get their customers from, when something takes place, like a recession or a change in an algorithm, or a change in that platform, then you suffer those consequences as well. So you're reaping the rewards, but you're not diversifying your current sources. And it's so important for you to diversify your lead gen tactics. So whether it's social media and you're just focused on Instagram right now, and if maybe LinkedIn can become a strategy, YouTube can become a strategy, Threads is completely brand new. How can you tap into adding in multi-sources? Now, I'm not saying you have to be 10 out of 10 or 100 across your channels, but if you are just focused on one, try diversifying your lead gen to at least 3 different components of marketing sources from where your customer reaches you. As always, I really believe, number one, I believe in email marketing. And so driving people to your emails in your own home base is so vital, so important. So make sure you have that. Make sure you have one super strong social channel, and then leverage something new and exciting. Maybe it's audio and podcasts, or maybe it's collaborations, maybe it's partnership opportunities, but embracing other forms of a marketing source, super important. Maybe it's you going back to your customers, your loyal customers, and having an awesome referral strategy. So this is the time to take a look at how are your customers finding you, and let's make sure that that is diversified to at least 3 strong sources. Number 4 is, this should always, again, be the case. These are all lessons we should be doing as part of our regular business, but especially now, it's so important. Financial management becomes paramount. Keep a super close eye on your business financial health. You have to be always monitoring your cash flow, your expenses, your profitability, and making sure you stick to it. It's also important not to get scared and have a scarcity mindset. So I will tell you that the worst thing that you can do is completely stop spending money on your business or say you're not going to make that hire or you're not going to make that investment. That is not the way to get through to get your business to grow. If I had done that, our business probably would not have survived the pandemic. Instead, what we did is we doubled down. We doubled down on a few things. We doubled down on the sources that were working. So when our competitors were pulling back, we were actually pressing the gas. And so our customers, we were able to show up for a lot cheaper in different ad forms. We were able to go further with our dollars while everybody else was pulling back. We were pressing the gas. So we did not take away our digital advertising dollars. We were just smarter about it. We were focused on channels that we knew were working and that we wanted to really own. We were also, another area that I doubled down on was myself and my team. And that is an area I don't want you to ever pull back on your team. We continued to hire through the pandemic, even especially during those times, the early stages of the pandemic when everybody was retracting offers. We still were making sure that we were preparing for our growth and we made sure that we had the talent to support us. So it's still important. I want you to focus on your financial health, but I don't want you to have a scarcity mindset. I want you to be investing into things that are going to 10x your business, that are going to support your business, that are going to get through this time period. What do you need on the other side as well? So I don't want you to pull back, and especially do not hold back on yourself. It's important that this is the time where you need everything the most, right? This is the time where you need community the most. This is the time where you need your mentors the most. This is the time. Make sure that you are surrounding yourself, which goes into my next point. Tip number 5 is network and collaborate. So closing out, focus on your financial health. Do not have a scarcity mindset and continue to invest in the right things. Invest in yourself, invest in your team, and invest on the strategies. Double down on the things that are working. Tip number 5 is all about network and collaboration. Business is built through people, period. Okay, I don't care what technology comes on board. I'm a huge believer in technology. I built a technology company. I'm super focused on AI and the digitization of businesses. However, it is super important that we focus on the human side of business too. So right now is when your network matters the most, period. All the times, like I would say more than ever, it is important for you to have a true network with strong, like-minded, open-minded entrepreneurs that you can collaborate with, that you can do business together, that you can sign partnerships together, that you can support each other, that you can go further together. You can also buy as a group, right? So you could say, hey, we are a group of X amount of entrepreneurs. We need a better deal on our payroll software. We need something better here. Go be part of a community as a group so that you can leverage the buying power as well of that community. So it's not just that, but participating also physically with these people, like making sure that you are part of whatever network you are showing up. People is what makes the world go round, and people is what's going to get your business through it. So what I don't want you to do is to like shut off and go back, to say, okay, times are hard. So I'm going to scale back. I'm going to have a scarcity mindset. That is not going to, it's going to hurt your business. It's not going to help you scale your business. So this is the time where you got to get really sharp. You got to get really focused. All your competitors are scared. Everyone else is pulling back. Everyone else is making moves out of that mindset. And we're going to have an abundance mindset here at CEO School. We're going to network. We're going to collaborate. We're going to build our community. We're going to focus on our financial health, but we're going to invest, right? We're going to embrace diversification of our marketing. We're going to expand our revenue streams, and we're going to focus on our customer relationships. And after over a decade of going through every ups and downs in business and now supporting thousands of women through CEO School, these are the things that we should always be doing, but especially now, I want you guys to focus on those things. I know I said this episode was going to be super quick. I wanted to just pop in here and share our top 5 tips. I will be going into detail on these tips inside of a masterclass that I'm hosting for our community. So if you resonated with any single one of these points and you're like, you know what, I want to double click into how Suneera is going to be diversifying revenue streams, how I should be thinking about our business, how do I create the referral program that I need, what are the marketing sources, et cetera, I want you to come join the CEO School membership, because that is where all of this happens in deep dive. I know you took away so much from this episode, but I want you to come join me. I'll be teaching the class. You'll get the recordings of it. You'll be part of all the women that are going to be doing the work, doing the challenges, doing the assignment, so that we can hit our next big milestones in business, and that this economic crisis, or the times that we're in right now, we are actually going to grow and double while our competition is scared and holds back. That's the power of CEO School, and I cannot wait to see you in the room. I've linked everything in the show notes. I cannot wait for you to participate and come and learn deeper, but I am so excited. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of CEO School. I hope you learned so much in this short 15 minutes and you found this information valuable. If you did, please leave us a review. That is how we grow our show, and I want to know what is your favorite tip out of this episode. So screenshot this episode, tag me on social media, and let me know what was your favorite tip that you are going to be implementing, so that we can double down on all the right areas of our business and grow our business to record-breaking milestones this year, regardless of the economic times. I'll see you next week at CEO School. Thank you for tuning into today's show. If you loved it, leave us a review. We are so proud to bring you authentic conversations, game changer expert guests, and valuable content on and offline. The best compliment you can give us is by screenshotting today's show and tagging us on Instagram at CEO School and at Suneera Madani. We are obsessed with swag, so don't be surprised if we want to send you some. Thanks for tuning into class today, and remember, nothing bad happens when women make more money.